Donovan Mitchell. Should he request out of Utah? Do you think it's time? What do you think is wrong with the Utah Jazz? They blew a 20-point lead to the Warriors. Mitchell was 0 for 4 in the fourth. The Clippers had a 25-point comeback win against them, not too far off from now.
Paul George. Sorry.
Yep. So what's happening in Utah? What's happening with Donovan Mitchell? It feels like people are on both sides of the spectrum. They're either on Gobert's side, on Mitchell's side. There's a lot of stuff coming out of Utah right now.
Well, let's hear from you because, right, you have them going to the Western Conference Finals.
You have Utah going to the WCF?
That's it. You know what? I realize that's what we got to start doing now as a collective. Call out these guys for their takes.
I did. I don't shy away from
Tell me you changed your mind.
Neither do I.
Huh? Tell me you changed your mind.
You know I can't change my mind. I would knock my morals. You know that.
Come on, don't play with them. I respect it. I respect that.
Stand on that. So they are going to the WCF, but they're imploding. They're definitely imploding, and I don't think anybody should knock on Donovan's side or on Gobert's side. It should be on both of them, honestly. I think
respect.
Being as the stars of the team, being as the leaders, Donovan Mitchell. And I was watching the Warriors game. Donovan Mitchell misses Gobert a lot. Like, it was this fun stat. I tweeted like 2-3 hours ago. Donovan Mitchell averages 2 passes per game to Rudy Gobert. 2. The game is 48 minutes.
What are you passing him the ball for?
I mean, if you get a screen and Rudy Gobert has Jordan Poole on you,
and he
has him sealed under the basket.
He had Klay Thompson sealed last game.
He's having multiple. He's 7-3. I'm sorry.
I'm scared what he's gonna do with it.
I don't. You have to make the right basketball play. Like you as a like if I'm a 7-3 player and you pass me the ball down low, if I mess up, it's not your fault. It's literally not. You made the right basketball play.
Gobert shoots 70% from the field this
year.
So
it's like Donovan Mitchell, he misses them a lot. I don't know what their friction is, like if it's beef or not, but the team is obviously imploding. Quinn Snyder seems like he doesn't know what he's doing anymore, and he's a great coach.
Can Spider win a championship there?
No, I think he should go to Miami.
Then that's the answer. I mean, if Donovan Mitchell wants to win, he goes.
And I think Rudy Gobert should go to Toronto.
He just signed this contract, though. Like, that's the thing that bothers me.
Listen, I think the Jazz situation is easy to dissect. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert don't like each other. It's as simple as that.
I think Donovan doesn't like Rudy. I don't think Rudy doesn't like Donovan.
I think it's both.
It was COVID.
I think so too.
COVID started it.
I think it's both. I mean, the reason why it's not even just Donovan. I think Jazz players don't connect with Rudy because he calls guys out all the time.
Respect.
He got quoted saying this.
What's wrong with that?
I'll say what's wrong with that in a bit. He said, we get disconnected, we stop playing, we lose the values of this team, which is moving the ball, Gobert said. And that really affects our defense. It's like everything flows, and then it flows the wrong way, and we get disconnected more and more. And then he said, we're a good basketball team, but we are not being as physical as we can be. It's a physical game, but we have to get to the point where we do that more to the other team than to us. Rudy Gobert, when he's saying they're not moving the ball, is talking about Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell in the post game when they lost to the Clippers, he said all the finger pointing is childish, which means that he is directly responding to Gobert and saying, this guy keeps talking about our team. I think it's childish. The problem with Utah is that they don't have a leader. Rudy Gobert is too childish and too much of a loose personality to be a leader. The COVID incident alone proves that he's not a leader. And Donovan Mitchell is not, he's the one that's supposed to be holding people accountable. He's not doing that. He's just saying, we'll figure it out. Let's not point fingers. Let's not do this. He's not a leader. And I feel like we've gotten to the point that Donovan Mitchell has plateaued. He's plateaued as a player. And he's young, so it sounds insane. I don't trust in a 6'1" guard to be the best player on a championship team. Donovan Mitchell will never be the best player on a championship team. Last year, when Shaq said to Mitchell that he's not good enough to do it, he was 100% right. And the entire world overreacted to that statement. Because Mitchell succeeded so much as a rookie, and in his first couple of seasons, he has lifted the standard to what we expect from him. And I don't think he will ever get to a higher standard. He will never break those barriers because I don't view Donovan Mitchell as a top 10, barely cracking in the top 15 of best players in the NBA. I don't think he can be the best player on a championship team. That's why Utah has to move on from him. Him and Rudy Gobert are awful fits. And Miami, it sounds nice. It really does. But are you trading Jimmy? Are you replacing Jimmy with Donovan Mitchell? How far does that really take them?
Tyler Hero?
I'm not sure. Does he go to the Knicks? The Knicks are the one rumored destination. What will Mitchell do in New York? What is he doing on
Nothing.
the Knicks?
There's not many people that can go into New York right now with your current roster and is doing much.
Mitchell, I believe is plateaued. And I think Rudy Gobert, if both these players get traded, will have more team success in the future. I think Rudy Gobert goes to Dallas. It makes the Mavericks a contender for real.
I really don't understand how you can say Donovan has plateaued and when all he's ever done in the playoffs is consistently get better, be that guy for them down the stretch, and his team is consistently
Too early
folded
to say plateau.
on him. I think if you,
And it hasn't resulted to anything.
but I don't think that's his
It's not
fault.
a direct correlation to him.
It's really not.
Perimeter
shot bad a
defense,
couple
definitely him. He's somebody.
That's
mean,
the fairest point you could have.
No, I
That's
agree.
it.
I think
And the reason I say plateaued is because when he was behind Ben Simmons in Rookie of the Year voting, when he went on these awesome playoff runs and eliminated Westbrook, we held Mitchell to such a high standard. Shooting guards have passed him. We once didn't have Devin Booker over Mitchell. He's over him now. Zach LaVine is a playoff run away from being over Mitchell now. Guys are starting to pass Donovan Mitchell.
Devin Booker has gotten past him because they've built a pretty great team.
Say it with your
around him.
chest out. Devin Booker.
No, it's a fact.
Best shooting
Devin
guard
Booker has gotten past him because
in NBA.
And I don't know, like that's just I don't know, like because not saying
Best
he's
shooting guard.
plateaued is it does sound crazy, but
Can he be the best player on a championship team?
Donovan Mitchell.
I'll tell you this. If
think so.
Utah had better wing defenders,
Yeah.
that Utah Jazz team could have gone to the
I'm
finals.
telling
last
you, if
year.
you put
And
him
how
on-
does that happen
if you
when
put-
Mitchell's getting paid that much?
If you
And Gobert.
if you can get him to Miami and they're
Look at the
able to keep
Suns.
Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, they're championship contenders in the East.
I just
But
look-
he's not the best player on the championship team at that point.
He's better than Jimmy. He's just not the leader that Jimmy is. Donovan
I
Mitchell
don't
is
agree.
better than
I don't-
Jimmy Butler.
I don't agree with
He
that.
just isn't the leader.
I don't agree with that
Jimmy
by
is.
an inch.
I mean,
It's a
we could go back and forth.
I mean, you're gonna look at Jimmy's like statistics, like threes.
No, I wasn't
or,
even
like,
going to look at it. I just think
but, like,
Donovan's a better.
when it's
he's
come
a
time to
better-
ball, like
when it comes down to ball, what?
Exactly.
comes time to-
Nah.
when it comes
When
down
it
to
comes
ball,
down
what?
to
When it
ball,
comes down
you
to ball,
gotta
what?
go Donovan.
I'm going
However,
Jimmy Butler.
Defense.
You don't want to win.
And
You don't want to win. You don't want to win.
who are you going with? Come time to ball.
Mitchell is the better player, and that's because Butler
He
is
is.
on a downtrend right now.
And
But
because of
Butler
injuries-
has proven he can be the best player that takes the team to the finals.
And one thing we have to continue to remember, he's had 5 ankle sprains this season. 5 ankle
His jump
sprains.
shot
is-
has been declining.
no, but that's not. No, it's never been really great. Never been good. Barely good, honestly.
So it
let's
was.
be
He
was an
shot
average shooter
37% from three.
in Chicago.
that in
Early in the
Chicago?
He was an average shooter in Chicago. He was a good shooter.
What I'm saying is that I don't view Donovan Mitchell as a superstar level player. I don't think he doesn't have the intangibles to be a leader either. And you mentioned that point about the Suns. The Suns got very fortunate with good management at the perfect time because they drafted Devin Booker. They drafted Mikal Bridges. They drafted Cameron Johnson. They drafted DeAndre Ayton.
That's my
Chris
point.
Paul came in. The Utah Jazz don't have the luxury, I guess, of drafting that high
Yeah.
in the draft year in year
Not
out.
anymore, at least.
They have to find gems, and they spent a second round pick on a Jared Butler
I mean,
when
they
it
did
could have
find
been.
gems.
They did
it
find
could have been a
gems.
Herb Jones.
Gobert was a gem. Mitchell was
was a
essentially
gem.
So
No,
they did find-
essentially, he's a gem.
They did
Easily.
find some gems. I don't know.
I
Mitchell
just
was a
don't
lottery
see.
pick, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to be that great, especially
But
year one.
Mitchell is a player
Booker
who
wasn't a lottery pick.
No, he was.
Okay, that's my point, though.
Mitchell just
No, but
made
I mean,
the All Star game for the first time last season. He's never been an All NBA performer. I don't believe he hasn't made an All NBA team.
Devin Booker hasn't either, though.
but he'll make it this year.
But you can't just because they haven't done it don't mean they haven't played at that level.
Yeah, but in
that's
one
unfair to say.
playoff run, Devin Booker has already accomplished more than Donovan Mitchell
Devin
has.
Booker wasn't an All NBA player last year.
I don't think so. No. Neither the 1 seed and the 2
Who was
seed
above him?
They weren't in it. I don't think.
I'll
Maybe
look
Booker
it up.
might have made it, but they both were one. Utah was 1. Denver, Phoenix was 2.
So Mitchell, no, he's a 3-time All Star, no All NBAs. It's just I worry about
That's
how far my team
disrespectful.
can go with Donovan Mitchell. I think, and in that case, I think he's plateaued because we had such a
That's disrespectful.
high roller coaster ride with Donovan Mitchell early in his career, and now it kind of just feels like it's stalemating.
Yeah, the All NBA team, first team: Giannis, Steph, Luka, Jokic, Kawhi. Second team was Joel Embiid, LeBron, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Julius Randle. Third team was Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, and Kyrie Irving.
Makes no sense.
Neither of those guys made it. So I don't know.
Rudy did.
feel-
Crazy.
Do you think the Jazz blow it up and trade Rudy and Mitchell?
I mean, if you want to
They're giving a lot of money to Gobert, like an absurd amount.
send him over to Chicago, man. Send Rudy over here.
Rudy would be crazy with
Send Rudy
y'all.
over here, please.
You know what I think Utah is
Yo.
missing? Just like wing stoppers.
Ben Simmons.
That's
all
it.
they're missing. If they would have drafted Herb Jones, they would have been good.
Yeah.
They needed to look at my draft board.
So if they get wing stoppers, do you
They
think Donovan
should've.
can be the best player?
Yes.
It makes their chances significantly better.
If you replaced Donovan Mitchell with Booker, they're in the same position.
No.
No. They go to the finals.
Exactly.
Who goes to the finals?
Utah.
Oh, you're bugging. You're bugging. Respectfully.
Dead serious.
Respectfully. No. Because then the same thing happens. Gobert's getting exposed.
You that serious?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
What? And
No, why? All jokes aside.
no, but
Can you
let's
explain that?
let's go to the regular question.
Trust Devin Booker.
Devin
bro.
Booker doesn't fix their problems though.
Yes, he does.
How?
Second in defensive rating amongst guards.
Thank you.
With Chris Paul.
What was I saying last time I was up
But didn't you
here?
say defensive rating was a team?
These players. No.
It
Hold
is,
on.
but
Before
it's,
you answer
it's
that,
flawed, but it's not
bro,
a
this is
horrible
what I was
stat
trying
to
to
use.
But
say.
I don't like
no,
that.
but this is what
Go
I was trying to
ahead,
say.
let me-
Hold on.
go ahead.
Before you go into it.
No, yeah.
These great offensive players that we give their praises on offense.
Like who?
Okay. Like one right there, Devin Booker. Another one who's underrated defender, DeMar DeRozan. We don't give him credit. You hear the name. You go,
What did you just say?
right. You hear the name and go, what did you say?
I'm saying I watch games. What did you just say?
DeMar DeRozan
Is
is
a
an
what?
underrated defender.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. I'm not.
I don't even think he's.
He makes guys work. Riv, you're telling me he doesn't?
You know what? I can't call somebody a good defender if they take plays off.
That makes no sense because
So
Kawhi's
LeBron-
not a good defender.
No, Kawhi's a good. Even
Kawhi
when he-
has taken
when
multiple
Kawhi,
plays
When Kawhi
off.
takes plays off, he's still a good defender. I'm talking about DeMar takes plays off. He becomes putrid. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
because
can't
he has to turn around and be that guy.
Nah, he doesn't have to be that guy.
For y'all, he needs to be that guy.
He can take some plays off on offense. He has Zach right there.
No,
he can.
but
he
there's-
can literally
but how
take
many
plays off
games
offense.
has Zach
Why did
missed?
they go get DeMar?
Obviously, to build that
More-
two-man
and
duo,
more
but in
offense,
the
and
regular
more-
season,
correct.
he can take plays off on offense and work on defense. He can do that.
I want to
But
know your guys' picks.
Wait, no, I do
for-
want to keep going on that point. If you replace Devin Booker with
I would like to. 'Cause
Mitchell.
I feel like Chris Paul has benefited
Actually, I
Devin Booker
misspoke.
so much.
the Suns make the finals still.
Yes, I
but
agree.
Mitchell worsens their defense and playmaking. Mitchell's not a good playmaker.
the playmaking,
You
100%.
don't
That
think
was the
Chris
only
Paul
thing I was
helps him
going to
with that,
say.
though?
No,
Facts.
I don't know.
Y'all really are
He's
like
6'1". He can't pass over defenses.
Yeah, but I
Oh
feel like
my
y'all really are
God.
like not forgetting that Chris Paul really benefits guys, bro. Like he really helps guys get
The one
better.
thing we can say when Chris Paul was out, Booker really stepped up in the playmaking department.
No, I understand that, but that's because Chris Paul was already there. He helped him in that
Develop.
department,
For sure.
in that development.
I
feel
agree.
like Chris Paul, Mike Conley isn't that guy.
Yeah.
he's not a Chris
He's
Paul.
not.
Chris Paul can definitely aid Donovan Mitchell. You put Devin Booker on
Mike
Utah.
Conley has
Their
been
problems
bucked
on the
this season,
perimeter.
too.
Devin Booker is not a stopper. He's a good defender, but he's not a stopper. You're not telling Devin Booker go stop this guy all game, and that's why Utah will still have a problem because
I
you
want
cannot
to
do that,
finish
bro.
with this though. For one, you're right about the wing defenders going to
I
Utah,
was
but
about to poke holes in that. So
I
crazy.
don't think a guy like Herb Jones changes Utah's trajectory too much.
It doesn't.
Like,
It helps a little bit.
It helps a little bit. You're
The
right.
thing about the Suns, they have the depth at the wing position defensively.
Michael Bridges is the
one
lead
person,
defender.
one person can't change a unit. Four guys potentially could.
Let's just go under the assumption
Potentially,
that
they definitely do.
Let's go under the assumption that Utah Jazz, they will trade away Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert this summer. What's the best team fits for both those guys? I'll start with Donovan Mitchell for you.
For me, it's Miami. If he wants to win, if they're able to keep Jimmy and Bam, I think that would be the spot where he can he can be more competitive and possibly get to a championship.
Man,
You gonna say LA?
no, we can't. I guess I want to say Dallas because he doesn't necessarily have to have the ball in his hands at all times. Him and Luka could feed off one another. You really add another scoring option to that squad. They really get nasty there. I feel like I guess Dallas, but I don't know what assets they would use to acquire him.
What's so funny?
No, I'm just laughing.
You guys get ready for my answer?
Yes.
I think Donovan Mitchell's best landing spot, if they could somehow, would be Cleveland.
You want two, not one.
Yeah,
but two,
they
6'3" and under guards
exactly.
in the backcourt.
Sexton makes that tough.
Okay, Damon, CJ.
No, but
So-
Sexton
No,
probably would be
Sexton-
included in that
this is
trade.
what you. This,
Sexton's
okay,
No,
Sexton's
but
gone.
but that's what I'm saying. He's
Oh.
Yeah.
that's
I
what I'm
had, to, I had to
assuming.
break this up. I had to break this down last time I was here for this.
Do it
guy.
for me.
Okay. Anytime you have a great scorer who's primary ball handler on the team, he is not going to flourish the way he will if he had somebody there to unlock him. Now, Mike Conley, you just told me, isn't that guy.
Yep.
But I guarantee you, Devin Booker's whole career, he was struggling with winning games because he didn't have a floor general or somebody to unlock him. Now, with that being said, if Donovan Mitchell went to a backcourt with a young floor general that can create his own shot, that's unlocking Donovan Mitchell to take away some of this
6'1".
offensive ability.
But that's why I say Dallas is a perfect
but
option.
I think you're forgetting the other side of the ball. You forgot that, didn't you? I think
Not
you
really,
did
because
forget.
Cleveland's a good defensive team and they make up for his defensive lapses.
Who makes up for Garland?
No, you got Mobley, you got Twin Towers down there, you got Allen and
And then you got
Mobley
Laurie at
down
the
there.
3, right?
They really do play Laurie at the 3, which makes no sense, but they do it. I mean,
I just think that's
They
too
do
small.
play a big lineup.
I think that's too small.
Now, but you can have small guards if you have
Right now they play Garland, Okoro,
Yep.
Laurie, and then
Okoro's
the
a
Twin
good
Towers.
defender.
That's what I'm saying. Look how big the lineup. That's why they suffocate you because they're so big.
Okoro's a good defender, though.
But now you're plugging them out.
he's really
and you're,
good.
and you're putting.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But now you're putting in Darius, Donovan, and Laurie or Okoro is gonna go.
You're
Who's
not
going
with
to guard that?
Yeah, but I'll be honest.
Who are
that's
they
kinda
going to
nuts.
guard? That's like, why do we forget the other side of the ball?
Facts.
Devin Booker's now not a liability. Like, he's a good defender. So now Chris Paul and Devin Booker are good defenders, bro. So it's like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like now they're both good defenders, so you can't really
Thank you,
pick on
bro.
one of them. You can't. But now you have Garland and Mitchell. Pick your poison. You do whatever you want to do. That's why I was like, Cleveland.
I don't think
know.
Mitchell is terrible defensively.
He's just small.
He's
I
not
feel like Joel's about to say something that contradicts what I just said.
I think it's a long shot, but it would be very fun to see Donovan Mitchell in Orlando.
all
does
that
nothing.
defense
It does nothing.
with all that defense around him, like Franz.
Yeah, I just
Isaac.
think a lineup like if you still believe in Suggs, then Suggs, Mitchell, Franz, Wendell, if they get a Chet, could be very fun to watch. Right now, they just need a go-to scorer. They're a really good defensive team.
That team doesn't win more than 40 games.
They're a playoff team in the East, for sure.
they just all continue to get better. They'll have.
But I
another
like
pick.
the Miami one, but I don't think I think Butler would have to go.
I think Harrow's can go. Harrow,
Duncan,
Robinson,
facts.
and then somebody else.
Gobert and Golden State would be unfair.
What the? We get
Yo, that
Gobert
would
and
be
Golden
nuts.
State would be unfair.
That's why I think
would be.
Rudy Gobert makes so much more teams
unfair.
contenders.
Or not-
I think
yeah,
he makes the Mavericks
contenders,
contenders, the Bulls he makes contenders. Golden State, I mean, they're unfair at that point if he
swing
goes
them over.
there.
But who we have to give up though?
Moody gone. Kaminga probably.
Kuminga probably has
I'm
to
not
be
doing
in
it.
that.
I'm not doing it.
As long as you don't touch Poole.
We have to touch somebody with money. So Wiggins,
Toronto, if he goes to Toronto.
I think Toronto for Gobert for me is Toronto, Chicago.
I like Chicago a lot.
I don't think I don't think Toronto has to make any changes.
No,
from
Hornets.
Toronto, look at that. Think about that 5-man lineup.
You don't think the Hornets are Rudy
Yes.
Gobert away from taking that
Yes.
next step?
The who?
The
Hornets.
No.
Yes, bro. They need a big
you know what?
desperately.
But wouldn't it be the same thing as Utah? None of them
Utah.
play defense.
Right.
So it's like
It would be the
Gobert's
same
just
thing.
Right.
now I gotta help
But
you
LaMelo's
guys.
going to pass you the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
LaMelo's going to.
I mean,
do what he does.
offensively, but defensively, it's like he brings them from 30th to 28th.
Rudy can average like 20 and 15 if he's with a point guard that passes.
He averages 12.
He can average 20.
You think he can get 20?
If y'all got Rudy, I would be
Nah, I'm
I
guessing.
think that if you
I'm
want to
not-
win, say
either
one.
y'all or Golden
He doesn't
State.
average 12.
I know it's-
averages 15.
Really?
15 and 15.
Gives me a 12 type of vibe.
Rudy Gobert is 15 and 15.
Okay, 15
70% from the field.